Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the waves crashing wildly against the shore, pulling you in with their relentless force. That's how life felt for my friend Alex not too long ago. Alex was a rising star in his company, sharp-minded and ambitious, but one stormy day, a heated argument with his team over a project deadline escalated into a full-blown meltdown. In the heat of the moment, he snapped, said things he couldn't take back, and watched as his best colleague walked out the door for good. It wasn't a lack of intellect that sank him, it was his emotions running unchecked, leading to a decision that cost him trust, respect, and ultimately his promotion. But here's the twist: Alex turned it around. He discovered the power of emotional intelligence, that invisible force that turns chaos into clarity, and rebuilt his life stronger than before. And you're standing at that same edge right now, with the potential to harness those waves instead of being swept away. Today, I'm here to ignite that spark in you, to show you how growing your emotional intelligence through 7 daily practices can lead to better decisions, deeper connections, and a life of unshakable confidence. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, isn't some mystical gift reserved for the elite. It's a skill you can cultivate, like tending a garden that blooms with wiser choices and richer relationships. Think about it: every decision you make, from choosing your words in a tense conversation to navigating a career pivot, is filtered through your emotions. High EQ means recognizing those feelings, understanding their roots, and channeling them productively. It's the difference between reacting impulsively like Alex did and responding thoughtfully, turning potential pitfalls into stepping stones. Research shows that people with strong EQ are 58% more likely to succeed in leadership roles, not because they're smarter on paper, but because they make decisions that consider the human element. And the best part? You don't need a fancy degree or endless therapy sessions. It starts with simple, daily practices that fit into your routine, like breathing. Let's dive in, step by step, and build this foundation together so you can start making decisions that propel you forward. First, let's lay the groundwork with self-awareness, the cornerstone of emotional intelligence. Without knowing your own emotional landscape, you're like a captain sailing without a map, bound to hit rough waters. Begin your day with practice 1, a 5-minute mindfulness meditation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Notice the thoughts drifting in: frustration from yesterday's unmet goal, excitement for a new opportunity, and label them without judgment. This is anxiety, you might say to yourself. It's like shining a flashlight into the corners of your mind, revealing patterns you never saw before. I remember when I first tried this, I was overwhelmed by a looming deadline, my heart racing like a drum in my chest. But by pausing to acknowledge it, I shifted from panic to planning, deciding to break the task into manageable chunks instead of procrastinating. You see, this practice sharpens your internal radar, helping you spot emotional triggers before they hijack your choices. Building on that awareness, weave in practice 2, emotional journaling. Right after your meditation, grab a notebook and jot down 3 emotions you're feeling and why. Be specific, don't just say, stressed. Say, stressed because I fear disappointing my team. This isn't about venting. It's about decoding your inner world, like a detective piecing together clues to solve a mystery. One client of mine, Sarah, a busy mom juggling work and family, started this habit and uncovered that her irritability stemmed from unspoken resentment toward her partner's lack of help. Instead of exploding in arguments, she decided to have an open conversation, leading to shared responsibilities and a happier home. You can do this too. It's a daily mirror reflecting your true self, empowering you to make decisions aligned with your values rather than fleeting moods. As you practice these, you'll notice a subtle shift. Decisions that once felt rushed now come with a pause, a breath, a clearer perspective. Now, with self-awareness as your anchor, let's move to managing those emotions effectively. Because awareness alone isn't enough, you need tools to steer the ship. This is where self-regulation comes in, turning raw feelings into refined actions. Introduce practice 3, the pause and reflect technique during high-stakes moments. When emotions surge, say, in a heated email exchange or a disagreement with a loved one, count to 10, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what outcome do I really want? It's like hitting the brakes on a speeding car, giving you space to choose wisely. Picture a basketball player at the free throw line, crowd roaring, game on the line. The great ones don't shoot wildly, they regulate their nerves, visualize success, and sink the shot. You can be that player in your life. I once used this in a negotiation gone south. Instead of defending my position aggressively, I paused, acknowledged my defensiveness, and shifted to curiosity, asking questions that uncovered a win-win solution. This practice transforms potential regrets into triumphs, ensuring your decisions are driven by intention, not impulse. Seamlessly tying into regulation is practice 4, daily gratitude expression. At midday, perhaps during lunch, list 3 things you're grateful for and why they evoke positive emotions. This isn't fluffy self-help, it's a rewiring of your brain's negativity bias, flooding it with positivity to balance the scales. Science backs this. Studies from Harvard show that gratitude boosts dopamine, enhancing focus and decision-making under stress. Think of it as fertilizing your emotional garden. The more you nurture positives, the less weeds of doubt take root. My own story, during a tough career transition, gratitude for small wins like a supportive friend's call kept me from despairing decisions like quitting prematurely. Instead, I persevered, landing a role that aligned perfectly with my passions. You incorporating this will find your emotional reservoir deeper, ready to draw from when decisions demand resilience. Together, these regulation practices build on your awareness, creating a sturdy bridge to interpersonal mastery. As we gain control over our inner world, it's time to extend that outward, enhancing empathy and social skills, the bridges that connect us to others and elevate our decisions from solitary to collaborative triumphs. Empathy isn't just feeling for someone, it's understanding their perspective, which sharpens your choices in relationships and teams. Start with practice 5, active listening in conversations. Put away distractions, maintain eye contact, and paraphrase what the other person says. It sounds like you're frustrated because this is like tuning into a radio frequency you usually ignore, picking up signals that inform better responses. Remember the story of a CEO who turned around a failing company. He didn't do it with spreadsheets alone. He listened to his employees' fears and ideas, deciding to implement changes that boosted morale and profits. You can apply this daily, whether with a spouse venting about their day or a colleague sharing feedback. It prevents misunderstandings that lead to poor decisions, like assuming motives and reacting defensively. Flowing naturally from listening is practice 6 empathy mapping. In the evening, reflect on a key interaction and map out what the other person might have been thinking, feeling, and needing. Draw a simple mental sketch. They seemed anxious, perhaps worried about job security. This practice is akin to stepping into someone else's shoes, walking a mile, and returning with insights that refine your social navigation. A friend of mine, a teacher struggling with disruptive students, started this and realized their behavior stemmed from unmet needs at home. Instead of punitive decisions, she chose compassionate interventions, transforming her classroom. For you, this builds relational intelligence, ensuring decisions consider the ripple effects on others, fostering alliances that open doors you never knew existed. These empathy practices amplify your self-management, turning personal growth into collective success. Finally, to tie it all together and ensure lasting impact, embrace practice 7 end-of-day decision review. Before bed, spend 10 minutes reviewing one key decision you made, asking, what emotions influenced it? How did it align with my goals? What would I do differently? This is your daily audit, like a pilot reviewing flight logs to perfect future journeys. It cements the other practices, creating a feedback loop that accelerates growth. I've seen lives change through this. A young entrepreneur who, after repeated failed pitches, reviewed his anxious presentations and adjusted, securing funding on his next try. You doing this will evolve from reactive to proactive, making decisions that not only serve the moment, but sculpt a fulfilling future. As we wrap this journey, reflect on how far we've come from the chaotic waves of unchecked emotions to the calm command of high EQ. You've got the tools now: mindfulness to awaken awareness, journaling to deepen insight, pausing to regulate, gratitude to balance, listening to connect, mapping to empathize, and reviewing to refine. These 7 practices aren't chores, they're your daily superpowers, forging better decisions that ripple into every corner of your life. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not as the version of you tossed by emotional storms, but as the master navigator, steering toward horizons of success, joy, and meaningful impact. So I challenge you, start today. Pick one practice, commit to it, and build from there. Watch as your decisions sharpen, your relationships flourish, and your confidence soars. You have the power to grow your emotional intelligence. Seize it, live it, and let it transform you. The world needs more leaders like the one you're becoming. Go forth, decide boldly, and thrive.